right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I may be the only one flying on Thursday Night Flight Club tonight. Oh, there's a lot just popped in next to me. Yeah. So I know we were originally scheduled in the Max. Unfortunately, hold on, Duncan. Duncan, how are you? Excellent. I got it. Yeah, and had some lot just pop in next to me. It is. So, and then I was going to be flying the Max, but hold on. All right, Duncan, I'm back. Sorry. How you be? Nice. Yes, what are you going to be doing? Nice. Well, there you go. Living the high life, are you? Malta. Malta's fun. Malta could be fun. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Do you feel 68? Oh yeah. You let me are you gonna work on diet, or are you just I know that feeling. Copy. Oh, good. They should. We do, and it is a very real thing, that shift. What do they call it? Shift disorder. Yep. Ugh. This was one of those trips 20 trips to do before you die. A list that Tony had. So, all right. And then he's like, yeah, let's do it. And then he goes off and goes on a vacation. He goes to see his daughter for her birthday, crying out loud. Probably, pretty much. That might have been family. I don't know. Maybe that was the plane he was coming in on. And then that guy was definitely doing the training. 'Cause he's like, no, you gotta stand back there. Yep. So. Tanzania. Yeah, it's and that's one of the. I mean, the reason this is kind of a fun one is that the weather is always the one that screws with airplanes. So that's like the catch, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. There's not really a whole lot of reporting or weather forecasting in the area. So if you're like an hour out, you're listening for a good pi rep. So. Addis Ababa. I don't think it's a bad airport. I've got the freeware version of it. Oh, are they? Same spot or somewhere else? They're gonna go big like Istanbul. Oh yeah. Nope, not a darn thing. Because somebody else wants some money. Alright. Maybe. Yep. This mine. Yep. Doesn't make it right. Let's do the runway now. Well, there you go. And you pick her, you get your baby in the morning, like right when you get off work, or okay. Well, you wouldn't have it any other way, though. Sorry, just getting things programmed up. How's work treating you tonight? Excellent. Could be a nice flight tonight, so. No worries. Thanks for stopping by. I think we all do. I've been trying. Yeah, you have. Nothing wrong with that, though. Nothing wrong with that. Ooh. And that one flight, after that first flight you took is more than I've taken in the last 5 years. Not for a flight, not going anywhere. I think Montana in like 21 may have been the last time I've flown. Yep. It would be nice, right? No, they get all cranky about that kind of stuff. Did you, no, that's cold. I know ways to get into the cabin too, but nah. Then I gotta worry about getting my car when I get out of jail. No, not at all. Well, it depends on where you went. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We are all fired up. Thanks, Duncan. Thanks for stopping by, man. All right, folks. We are ready to go. We're on our way from... Okay, we were just talking about it in... I was just talking about that with Arcade Mac. We are flying from Addis Ababa down to Kilimanjaro. We're starting off at 7,000 some odd feet, 7,500 feet. This is higher than Denver, so we do have some issues there. So we don't get to do any fancy D-rates to our engines. Takeoff 121, 507, 152, 154, 156. Not sure why that got all kinds of wonkied out, but we'll put 156 in there. I would trust these better, 152 and 154. So, let's see, 52, 54, 56, yep. There we go. We are set. Those are the numbers we're going to go with. We should be good to go there. Drop this up to 156. There we go, and we are going to go straight up to 360. Let me get that dialed up to the gauge. We are good to go there, and we're going up to flight level 360. And here comes the fun part. We're going to go look at the chart for Kilimanjaro. So if we go to our airport, Kilimanjaro, and we look at our, we come over here, let's bring up our airport chart. That will give us our altitude. The airport elevation is 2,936 feet, so we can go ahead and go 3,000 here. There we go. So one of the fun things with Kilimanjaro is there is quite literally not a lot around this airport. So let's go look at our chart. You can see right there, the only thing you have around Kilimanjaro is Kilimanjaro, the mountain itself. You'll see that right there. We'll come in right next to it. But it's what makes this airport that we're flying into so interesting is that there is not a whole lot of aviation weather forecasting in the area. So you might, what generally happens is if you fly into Kilimanjaro, you listen or you get a pilot from a pilot that just landed there within the last hour or so with any luck. But you're all the way over here on the eastern side of the, eastern side of the continent. And so you're getting everything that comes across here. And then couple rides right over Somalia, Ethiopia here. And yeah, then you got all the water around it. So it makes weather here in Kilimanjaro rather interesting. But we're going to give it a try. That's what makes this one of the more interesting flights you can do. So I think we are all programmed up here. We're ready to roll. So we can go ahead, and I think we've got VSX going. Alright, boarding complete. Let's prepare for pushback and departure. We got our APU on. We can go ahead and disconnect that. We can get you guys on. And I know we were supposed to be Royal Air Maroc flying the MAX 8. Unfortunately, the update, and I failed to get this today when I was getting the promotional photos. I was not in VR when I was getting those photos. So that means that when I got into the aircraft to start flying in VR, a lot of the click spots didn't work. So I'll have to troubleshoot that after this flight. But I thought it was more important to get in and get this flight done. And we'll be ready to go here momentarily. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get our park brake on. There you go. Got our pin walking over. We can go ahead and get flight directors on. We'll set up LNAV and VNAV. Well, hello there. There we go. So are we. Let's get our anti-collision light on. Everything else is looking all right for now. We only have a little bit in the center tank. Hopefully we'll get rid of that before we get up to cruise. So welcome aboard. Thanks for coming with me on Thursday Night Flight Club. So we're on our way. Masai Mara is right there. Captain Jack, we'll check you in a little bit. Thanks for stopping by, man. Get people seated. Go ahead and get over here. Ground ops. We can go ahead and release that. We can remove the chalk. All right, we're going to go. Let's take a look at our airport here. We're departing on runway 7. We're going to want to tail right, nose left. So we're going to 7 right. Tail right, nose left. There we go. Brakes released. Here we go. We'll get this going to about 21%, then it will, oh no, we're in the PMDG, so we're good. 18 to 20. There we go. 2.8. Ah. Is that somebody down there? Addis Ababa traffic, Royal Air Maroc pushing off gate 12. Addis Ababa. There we go. 1 coming on. Have an American sitting down there. I have to see who that is. Ababa. Yeah, York. I see you back there, little fella. Where are you at? You ready to roll? Got York back there. Copy that. I was just finishing up my push and I can hang out for a minute. Mac, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate you being here. All right, brakes are set. We are disconnecting. There we go. Thank you for that. All right. We're going to go ahead and taxi all the way down to the end here, and then we will wait for York to get fired up, and then we'll be on our way. Runway 7 is 072. There we go, 072, we are good across the board. Addis Ababa traffic, Royal Air Marat, taxiing runway 07 right. Ababa. Here we go, we'll taxi up there and we'll get her going. A little hot, little thin air up here, so let's see, what is our air temperature? Plus 13, so not a bad little airport. Ababa traffic, Royal Air Morocco, crossing runway 07 left, hold short, 07 right, Ababa. Look at you, York. You want to just stay on 7 left and we'll simultaneously depart the 7s? Say again, York. $360. About 2 hours. Ababa traffic, Royal Air Morocco, departing runway 07 right. Toga. Tyler, how are you, man?
Rotate. Positive, ready to climb.
Ababa traffic, Royal Air Morocco, climbing for 8,500 for 360. That's call Ababa. Tyler, what you got going on tonight? Just relaxing a little bit? I think Monday. I think they'll get the list on Monday. There's also a den turn thing going on as well. So they want to make sure they got everybody. So don't worry about it, man. It's with the city, nothing goes fast. So I would not be too concerned. It'll take a minute for everything to come through. Be patient. Yeah, that would be ideal, right? Yeah, it looks like we're going to make that restriction there above 13,000 feet. There you go. We got that. This little airplane is fighting. How you doing back there? Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, it happens occasionally. About About the internship? All I can say is talk to everybody you can. Work on the communication skills. There's a lot of people out there that have been that have a lot of first-hand experience with a lot of things out there. So I can only encourage you to talk to anybody that's willing to talk with you. Angela, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you always stopping by. There we. Oh, not sure what happened to York there. Yeah, saw you over on Captain Jack's stream the other day, both days. Thanks for supporting us. You're the reason we do this. It's a lot of fun. Where are you at now? Can't remember where you said you were last night. Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Not too bad out there in Cali right now, huh? Looks like York is on his way. I'm going to switch over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Royal Air Maroc up on 1, 2, 3 point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, oh, hey. Are you used to the warmer temperatures, Angela? American 600, Royal Air Maroc 31. I get it. I'm not a huge fan of cold. Not a huge fan of it at all. Got 5x5. I think we're both moving along, so we can go back over here. Let's bring this back up. Let's look at our flight plan. Midpoint Airport's going to be around Nairobi. We're all right. We'll keep an eye on that. That'll be 485 from Kilimanjaro. Yeah, I can do that. Let's go to... We're okay. Tyler, you doing okay? Yeah, we're expecting some rain, snow tonight. Did you get a lot of rain, or was it just a couple occasional showers? Yeah, I may have. There was just a little squabble between a couple flight attendants. As much as you could trust a couple flight attendants to get into a fist fight. If I remember right, it was a couple of females. But that's all I have to show you. Delta had 2 330s divert to my airport yesterday from Salt Lake City. They were coming in from Paris. Oh, you're up on Discord now. Are you on Discord? And York, are you up on Discord? Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, can you hear me? There you go. Yeah, so Delta had 2 330s from London and Paris divert to our airport because of the snow out there yesterday. I'll have to drop those videos in the old chat. Yep. Yeah, we ended up having probably about 10 or 12 airplanes just sitting on different pieces of pavement yesterday afternoon, waiting to get out to go to Salt Lake. Yep. Yeah, they ended up timing out. They automatically, as soon as they landed, downloaded that aircraft and everything. So. Yeah, Angela, there were a couple flight attendants for Southwest got into a bit of squabble on the jet bridge. Oh yeah. It's kind of an interesting little weather system that's set up between California and Salt Lake City, and then we're not really going to get much out here. Just a little cooler, maybe a little sprinkles, but that's about it. You would hope. You guys looking for any rain maybe Saturday, Sunday? Yeah. Yep. Same here, and then yep. And then like Charlotte, North Carolina has had more snow in one snowstorm than we've had all season. Yep. That's tough to get around there. Yep. Yeah. No, it is. It's interesting, and then we'll see what the summer brings, but it's not boding well for Colorado. Yeah. And it's kind of a common little practice. But I mean, when you look at it, Colorado is just a desert. I think it's technically classified as a desert. Yep. Don't get me wrong, it's a very nice state. Having the mountains right there is great. But beyond the mountains, it's very dry, very parched. Yeah. We'll see how many people's lawns survive. How many people's lawns survive this summer. Yep, zero escaping. Yep. Yeah, it did. Looks really nice down there. And then he's in Scottsdale, so it's always nice there. Yep. What about you? You got any trips coming up? Get that trailer out and about? Yep. I don't know that a lot of people understand the stress of towing a trailer, setting up a trailer, tearing down a trailer, towing a trailer, setting it up. Yep. Yep. Nice. Yep. Yep. Okay. Kind of like the white roof. Kind of like the white roofs on flat buildings. How much weight does it add? Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And then do you have airbags for the truck? Yeah. 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 Yep. I recently stumbled across. Go ahead. It's Arcade Mac. I do. It's awesome. We're flying along all over Africa right now. Yeah. That was fun. You were watching right when we did that, didn't you? Uh-oh. Yeah. Just kind of a check-in. So you fly over a couple of them. I actually have the Victoria Falls. Yeah. Yep. Max, how are you, pal? Thanks for stopping by. Yep. Yeah, there's like one guy up there peeing over the edge. Is that you, Mac? Yep. How you doing over there, York? Copy. All right, thanks, Mac. Maximus, how are you, pal? Yeah, those white towers you saw in the background, that's the main terminal of the Denver airport. Yeah, probably step climb. Yep. So on your flight plan, right below your takeoff weight and everything, you should have FL steps. Yeah, your OFP. So there's that little altitude and it says FL steps. Don't worry about it. Yep, so when you're looking at the flight plan, like what we have tonight, it probably has, let me look at it. So it's the right below your takeoff weight, your maximum and estimated. It'll have FL steps, and then it'll be HAAB/360, then Rudolph, it'll have a step up. So as you lose fuel weight, you're able to climb to a higher, more efficient altitude. Those are called step climbs. It can, but usually it's the 7.3 is sort of a good balance between performance and weight. Nice. Glad you enjoyed that one, man. That was a fun one. Yep, that's it. Hotel Alpha Alpha Bravo or slash brutal? Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. If it works, you get up to it, you're good. You're flying, you're fine. But you'll... Yep. Your performance and your weight. Okay. Does it say why it's mud? No. Unless you're an elephant. See ya. Well, you know, I mean, might have been too hot out. People are crazy. Yeah. So working in the industry, you're just like, the amount of people that get mad at something and just lose their stuff. They just lose their minds. They crash out so hard. And you're like, it's really, you're at an airport. I mean, people are sensitive as it is. Just chill out, relax. Or the number of people that drink way too much, just, it always baffles me. Yep. Oh yeah. So then tomorrow night, I'm going to be joining Captain Jack on his little podcast, the Virtual Flight Deck. Yeah, he usually has about 4 or 5 other guys on, and they all talk about flight simming. And so like Miggity Mike, if you watch him, Owls, CST Gaming. There's a couple of other folks that kind of transition through there every once in a while, but he's asked me to join him for that tomorrow night. Yeah. He's been getting his stuff handed to him here recently, probably over the last 6 to 9 months. But yeah. Yep. Called the Virtual Flight Deck. Yeah, just look up Captain Jack on YouTube and you'll see a couple of his old Virtual Flight Decks. Yep, that was pretty good. I don't know if he's going to do another one this week. Yep. Did you get it sorted? What do we got for dinner there, Angela? Okay. Yep. 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 Yeah. It's usually DisplayPort. Yeah. Yeah. And that's get it. I will try to send you the power hubs that I use that are pretty good, because they do provide power over the USB. So it might be able to get that from the USB if you've got available power. No, just from the USB hub. So the USB hub can get a powered USB hub rather than just a USB hub. And there is, and there's also differences in wattage and voltage that it is able to transmit down the power signal line. So the ones I have are pretty good, relatively not inexpensive. So I'll have to I'll send you a link for it. Yep. 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 That's, can't remember. I think Captain Russell looked at it, and then and that's maybe one of the reasons why they don't include power cables, is it does pull power through the USB. Have you tried that? Yep. 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 12 volt, yeah. But well, that's what I'm saying is, so you may, and that's what they might be saying is that you may need a powered USB hub to get the backlighting working, because the backlighting works on all my wind wing stuff, and I don't have anything powered on any of my wind wing panels. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wind wing panels, and none of them have a direct power supply. It's all being driven via USB. Yep. Yep. No, and that's why you get the powered USB hub. Because it gives... Yep. Correct. Dremel would be fine, and then just use like an emery board to smooth it out. Yep. Is it fiberglass or is it PVC? Okay. Oh yeah. Maybe. And it may be something as simple as the openings weren't correct, so redo it. Perfect. I know the feeling. I've got an F-18 sitting in front of me, but I'm flying this 7.3 all the time. I do. Yep. I have like essentially I have the 3 multifunction displays, then the heads-up display, and up-front controller. And then I have F-18 throttles on the left side and an F-18 stick on the right. Not a whole lot anymore. It's been a while since I've been in DCS, because I mean, once Microsoft Flight Simulator came out with some great scenery, so I loved flying the F-18 in DCS. Because they had these great clouds, and X-Plane and Microsoft didn't have great clouds back in the day. So, but now that you have all the scenery that Microsoft has, you don't have all that in the digital combat simulator. So, makes it like, ooh, yay, I'm flying around Vegas. Woohoo, yay. Right now, well, sort of, yeah. So right now, 24 is my flight simulator. I still have 2020 installed, but yeah, 24 is what I fly in all the time. I'm part of the beta program, and the beta just came out last week, and it's changed a couple of things up. So I might have to revert back to the release version of the sim, but yeah, so pretty much out of 2020 now. It's just sitting there collecting dust. Yep. 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 Yeah, it's that's a funny thing. Like the sounds in the sim they can make or break an airplane. Like the 777, hearing it start up on the outside is with the regular standard audio, you're like, oh yeah, man, that's great, cool. But when you add the Boris Audio Works sounds and you hear the different harmonics that kick in, it's, as somebody that's out there listening to these airplanes start all the time, it's night and day. You'll be like, oh my gosh, that is so, one less thing I have to worry about. Yep. Let's see, where you at? You on your way into Rudall or? There we go. Lotas, how far? Copy, I'm 83 from Lotas. Not bad call. I am 0.78. Yep. Yep. I'm chugging along at 461. Okay. My ground speed. Yep. Oh. You know, he was just loving that whole flight. All right, York, I dropped those two A330s landing at Denver videos in. Yeah, you should see it in TNFC screenshot. Yeah, those are these are just the actual full videos, not the edited down ones. Nice, Mac. Mine or yours? No, mine. So is it that one over there? Maybe right there, pal. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am set up to land runway 09. Yep. Well, so I didn't do a star, so is your last waypoint Uniform Tango Alpha Tango Alpha? Okay. So then you're doing, I can switch mine up to ILS Yankee. Runway 9 from final. So then let me change that. What are you? We will do the ILS Yankee runway 9. Execute that. There we go. All right. So what is your question? Yeah. So it seems like it's a fairly small little segment between Utah to the final approach fix. So rather than have you go through all that in kind of wide open country, they're like, yeah, no need for a star. Yep. So Charlie Foxtrot and Foxtrot India 09, those are both on the instrument landing system approach. And so FI, generally if it's an F, it'll be the final approach fix. For that runway. And usually what you want to do is if you look at the ILS chart for runway 09 ILS Yankee, you'll see it's FI is all the way in there. It's like, yep, it is 6.5 miles from the runway, and then CI or CF is at it is the first triangle inside the little arrow for the ILS. Does that make sense? Yep, you just want final. Okay. Yep. Yep. And then you can see those down lower. FI09, that is the intercept altitude, which we can go ahead and dial in now. 5,000 feet. And if you want, the ILS is 110.9. And the course is 088. So put that in that's your ILS frequency. Yep. I have. I need to break it out. It's a lot of fun. Now, are you ready to do a little bit of programming, York? Yep. Are you in the PD? You're in 2020, huh? Copy? Yep. All right. Give me. All right. So what we are going to do is we're going to click on Charlie Foxtrot 09 so it shows up in the scratch pad. And then we're going to type 358. No space or anything. So it should be Charlie Foxtrot 09358 /5. And then you put that, you click on Charlie Foxtrot 09 above it and execute. Yep. Now get rid of that discontinuity. And what we've done there is we've built a 90-degree base leg to final for that approach. Yep. Correct. So the way that works, so then yep. So right above you on the EFIS, where you dial in your barometric pressure and everything, if you turn the one that has the Charlie Tango Romeo in the middle, turn that to plan, PLN, your nav display should have changed, and your FMC should have a button there marked step. So click on step and it'll move to the next one. Yep. Yep. So you see how it says CTR, Charlie Tango Romeo? Right next to NV in the FMC. Yep. Yep. So every time you hit step, it moves that center. That's what it's making the center of your nav display. It'll move it down one. So if you move it down and you adjust your range so you're, say, 20 miles, when you get to Charlie Foxtrot 001, you'll see that it's got like a 90-degree elbow to Charlie Foxtrot 09. There you go. It was more of an acute angle because we're coming sort of in from kind of like the angle up to CF01. And yeah, instead of a hard left turn, it makes it more like you're joining the pattern. So then move that CTR button back over to map and you should be good. It should get rid of that step and adjust your range for everything. No worries. Yeah, so any like turn into a final approach course that the aircraft has to do that's smaller than 90 degrees, it has a hard time doing it appropriately, so to speak. So it'll shorten that turn out, so the radius will be further out rather than kind of right at that waypoint that you're turning at. .358. So if you look at our final approach course is 088, right? So then if I subtract 90 from 888, what's that give you out of the 360 heading? No, so, all right, so if the final approach course was 90 degrees and we wanted to subtract 90 from that, what would that give us? No, from the course, 88 or 90? No, subtract 90 from 90, and that would give you 0, right? And based on our compass headings, what is 0? Yep. So since it was 88, we just subtract 90 from 88, and that gives us 358. Yep. We put 5, which is the distance from the point that we referenced, which was CF09. So just 5 miles away. Yep. Does that make sense? Yep. You're trying to achieve a 90-degree angle or better for the turn onto the course that you're going. Yep. Or bigger. Well, so let's say we have point X-ray out there, right? So it's just a random point X-ray. But that is our reference point. So what we did was we selected it and we said, at X-ray, I want you to build me a point, and it'll be on the 358 degree radial from point X-ray, and it'll be 5 miles away from point X-ray. And then we put it in on top of it. That way it was before. We could have put it in on top of the next one so that it inserts between CF09 and FI09, and it would have been after. And we could have done the same thing with any of the radius. So if we were coming in from the south side there, we could have done that, where we would have been we could have added 90 degrees to 88 so that it would be on the south side of that point, and then 5 miles out from the south side of that point. Yep, yep. It doesn't necessarily matter. Let me see. If you wanted to, you could. Well, I haven't worried about Navigraph in the past, but you used to be able to like select a point on the ground and create, but you can't do that now. So I'll look into it, see if we can add that in there. No, it kind of gave it its own code. So based off of CF and custom waypoint 001, that's why you got the CF 001. Yep. And what it shows you there is that from CF 001, you will be traveling on the 178 degree radial, or not radial. You'll be traveling at 178 degrees course, magnetic heading or true heading, depending on how your airplane's set up, to CF09. And it's 4.7 miles. Yep. So if you look at that Utah to CF001, you'll be flying a course line of 193. And then from CF001 to CF09, you'll be traveling on a course line of 178. There you go. Yep. Yeah. Well, there you go. You're not learning. You're not living. So then the other one is, if you go into your init ref and you say do your flap speed, so mine is 30, flaps 30 at 150. Okay. So then what you can do is you go to your legs page, and at Foxtrot India 09, just make sure that it says 155/5000. So you just type in 155/ and click on the button next to it, and that'll change it to your final approach. Yep. No, that thing turns into a dart when it's on the downward. I don't in 24. Yep. I like the Starship. It's fun. Yep. Yeah. I'll have to check it out. I am 20 miles away from my top of descent. Perfect. So now the fun one here is we got to watch the winds when we get down there. They might be a little erratic. There's Kilimanjaro. And the winds at Kilimanjaro are 160 at 4. It'll be fine. It'll be just, yep. Okay. Just drop it in the Discord. Yeah, just put it right there next to the A330s. I am on the way down. And then hit enter again. Hit enter. So click in the little message text area. Yep, and then just hit enter. Your keyboard. Not sure what you're looking at. Are you in Discord? How about your actual keyboard, your physical keyboard? Ah. Now click on the photo. Wanted to add. There you go. Yep. First one is managing whether Discord can show it to us or not, and then the second one is to add it to what you're trying to show. I will look him up. Yeah. I will go in and see what it's about. They are doing pretty good. The shepherd, she broke her dew claw nail, but she would rather play than the one that's up high. Yep. So yeah, I had to. Yeah, and didn't actually tear it off, so it's just kind of like a broken fingernail. I can only imagine how painful that is. But she's doing okay. She doesn't know any different, except I wrap it to keep it clean and keep it from getting torn off. And Turtle's still chugging. How old is your dog? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Spay. Spay and neuter. Yeah. That's the way it happens. There you go. I'm getting ready to fly past Kilimanjaro. Dogs are good people. Dogs are good people. Yeah, we all know the answer to it too. I have not. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that's, I don't know that there's much I wouldn't pay for my dog. So it's, I imagine you're probably the same. Make sure they're taken care of, you take care of it, and You're the one that makes money, so that when you come home, they're there tail wagging. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 That's ideal. Yep. And that's Colorado had the busiest PetSmart in the country. It may still be one of the busiest PetSmarts in the country, but it was like pulling $3 billion a year. And so Colorado is, we are dog crazy out here. Yep. 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 We had, so we were the first airport in the nation to do that, and they're called CAT. They're called CAT. Yep. Canine Airport Therapy Squad. They get their own trading cards and everything. They're all volunteers. Yep. Yep. I am getting ready. I'm on my way to Charlie Foxtrot 01. Yeah. Yep. So we have our ambassador program, which is all the volunteers. They kind of help you find your way around. And I want to say it was like 2000. It was right after 9/11 that we started bringing or looking into it, and then maybe 2003 we started bringing them into the airport as stress relieving animals. So but it's kind of nice. So if they come out, and the nice thing about it is a lot of it's well, so if our ambassador program, which is all the volunteers that help you find your way around the airport, they're generally retired airline personnel or airport aviation people. And then what we do is they get free parking. So when they're taking care of their benefits, they get to park at the airport without paying all the exorbitant prices. So yep. And so then a lot of them started getting their dogs certified to be therapy animals. And so then, yeah, I think we might have, at any one time, we could have anywhere to like 30 dogs available, and a couple of cats available per cat shift. We do have a couple of cats.
2,500.
Yep. Yeah, they're all on leashes and stuff, just like your dogs would be. But some people like cats, and some people prefer dogs. So. We have we have some of those on each concourse. We actually have a couple walking areas at the main terminal, so that if they're just traveling through, they can hit the area. I don't see anybody else here besides us, so I'm not even going to worry about radio comms. Do you see anybody? Copy, I'm crossing CF01. Crossing CF001. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's Kilimanjaro's on your left. I am turning inbound. Yeah. Looks like there's a rainstorm right over the runway. Be ready for some wind shear. Yeah. Got the runway right through a rain curtain. Not yet. We will see. All right, 5 mile final. Yeah, right through rain. It's just a little isolated shower. Kicks you a little bit to the right.
Approaching minimums. 300. Minimums. 200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Runway is wet. Not bad. Yeah. Have you ever been to Africa? Maybe. How far out are you? Copy. Are you seeing the rain or no? I did. It was kind of cool. Nothing yet. I got a zebra. Huh? Yeah. Maybe. Oh no. No, I've got a bunch of elephants and gazelles on the, so this would be the south side of the runway. I had auto brake on 3, yep. I am clear of the runway. There we go. Copy. About 3,000 feet. No worries. Missed approach point, or missed approach altitude is 3230, 3230. I'm looking for you, little fella. You're close. Yeah. About a 3-mile final. Oh, there you are. I got you. Well done. You gotta taxi back to right where you are now. That's the runway exit. On your left. And if you look on the right, that's where I saw the elephants and stuff. There's like a little grove of trees right off the runway. It might just be a 24 thing. Copy. I'm entering Sierra and I will park at spot 7. That's all we got. Uh-oh. Just out of the pan or where? Yeah, it just cooked. Yeah. Yeah. I am. Air Maroc, or Royal Air Maroc. Yeah. It was supposed to be the max, but I threw the regular because I was having some issues with the iFly. Should be able to fit on spot 5 to my left. If you click on the SYS page, you should see your brake temperatures. I got one. I'll drop it in. Good flying, York. Thanks for coming, man. I thought I was going to do that one on my own. Yeah. Let me know when you want to fly that King Air. I can always fly the Starship next to you. Yeah, I mean the Starship isn't that much. I mean it was made to replace the King Air, so not that much faster. Yeah. Let me know. We'll get something done. I gotta I'll probably fiddle fart around tomorrow, and then tomorrow night I get that podcast. But then if you're up for it, hit me up. Maybe Saturday if you're around. Okay. Yeah, that's my Monday. Yep. Yeah, let me know. Alrighty, buddy. You too, man. Good flying. Thanks, sir. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our flight. Great flight from Addis Ababa to Kilimanjaro. You saw the mountain in the background over there while we were coming in on our approach. Great little airport. Got about a 190 on the arrival, and beautiful little freeware airport from flightsim.to. It does work in 24. I think it is advertised as 20 and 24. But that's going to do it from the flight deck tonight. Get in there, get ready for your hike up Kilimanjaro tomorrow. For now, we're going to call it a day. Have a great night.